Iran is very much ready to attack Israel, and US is at the moment panicking, not just for the reason that Israel will be destroyed or has the potential to be destroyed, but also they are fearing for themselves. US, they do not have infinite amount of money to protect Israel. To keep their eyes on the sky for an Iranian attack takes a lot of money, manpower, a lot of effort. They have to now scatter their military assets, resources all over Middle East, while they also have to keep an eye on China and Russia at the same time. But it is becoming ever more difficult for US, thanks to obviously Israel. Now, before I share more about this coming from none other than US itself, the government in Washington, but I also want to discuss a few other things before I share more details on this one. So basically, this is what we are seeing right now, and this is what we are hearing right now from multiple sources from the Israeli government officials. Now, one retired Israeli major, his name is General Itzhak Burke, warned Thursday, this is what he has to say, pay attention, that Israel could face, quote unquote, I'm quoting him, it's not something I'm making it up. He said, quote, they could face collapse within a year, end quote, if its current war against Palestinian group Hamas and Lebanon Hezbollah continues. Quote, the country really is galloping towards the edge of an abyss. Brick said in an opinion piece published by Israeli Daily Haaretz. So it's coming from not only Israeli retired Major General, but also from Israeli newspaper itself. Now, I want to share with you a few more details about the current situation and how Israel can potentially retaliate against Iran, which seems to me not so very possible. Why? Take a look at this one. When they actually tried to attack Iran in the past, look where their missile landed, in Iraq. This is Israeli missile that was intended for Iran, landed in Iraq because it was shot down. Why? Because Israel's missile, they are not capable of going that far to destroy anything from the country of Iran. Not a single inch can be destroyed with Israeli missile, and this is why they want US to fight it. Now let's talk about the main topic, should we? So basically, US believes now that Iran, this is coming from US official, that Iran is prepared to do something, okay, if they choose to, quote unquote. White House National Security spokesman John Kirby told reporters on Friday, referring to Iran's promised attack against Israel. The US continues to monitor Iran and is not taking anything for granted, he added. Keep your eyes open for as long as Iran wants, and that would frustrate US, and of course that will keep the panic in Israel continuing. When we talk about Iran, they are really not the threat for Israel. They were never. It was all trying to create a boogeyman by US officials, congressmen, who are puppets of the Zionist lobby and slave of Benjamin Netanyahu. When we see this kind of rhetoric coming from US and Israel, that Iran is somehow up to no good to destroy Israel, it is all made up. We do not believe that Iran is a threat to US or Israel. It's only possible if you can be convinced by a congenital liar and a war criminal like Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu, or a buffoon like Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. The military-industrial complex, they want this kind of rhetoric all the time be thrown at Iran so that there could be always tension and they will be able to make profit from that. But right now, US and their military and their technology is suffering a big time. Nevertheless, they are still able to supply ammunitions to Middle Eastern countries, and quite shamelessly, this time it is Qatar who is hosting US military base in their own country. So Qatar US FF-22 fighter jets arrived at the Al Udeid, this is how you say, air base near Doha. When Qatar talks about negotiation, ceasefire and all that, and supporting the people of Palestine, they really need to explain to us at the same time what are these, why they allow US military, their warplane fighter jets landing on their land. What is the purpose? Right now, this is a completely different ball game after what Israel did, the genocide. And this is the high time, guys, for Qatar and all of these Middle Eastern countries, including Turkey, to cut ties with Israel once and for all, and should not allow a single military plane, let alone having an air base there. But are they doing it? Not really. Who are doing this? Well, it is the Houthis. They have actually shot down something very, very special. And this is MQ-9 Reaper UAV was shot down in Yemen. The Houthis announced a press conference for today. News Times 26. Houthis are very, very happy, excited, and they're supporting the people of Palestine. We have seen today in a video where hundreds and thousands of Yemenis coming out to protest what Israel is doing in Gaza and supporting the people of Palestine. When we talk about diplomacy, how can we forget somebody like the Blinken? You know, the guy who blinks all the time. Blinken is always blinking. And this person, he talks about negotiation and whatnot, but we know that he is actually lying. And this is what comes out from his mouth almost on a daily basis. Let's take a listen, though.
By Iran back in April. Two main goals in mind. The first is to reaffirm the commitment of the United States to Israel's security. That's a commitment that we put into practice virtually every day since October 7th, including when Israel was attacked directly by Iran back in April. In recent weeks, given the heightened tensions, we have deployed additional assets to the region.
Okay, so how can you remove tension in the Middle East by arming one party and trying to really subjugate the other parties and really bullying other parties? They bully, US bullies Iran all the time. They call Hamas terrorists. So how can from that position you can do any kind of negotiation? You do not have the credibility, you do not have the validity, you're not legit. US doesn't have legitimacy to do any negotiation for Hamas, Iran and Israel because they are not neutral. The only country that can do negotiation and try to make some reconciliation between nations is the country that is neutral. He himself, Blinken himself, said that we are supporting Israel on a daily basis since October 7 by supplying them with mass destruction, bombs and weapons and all that they need to carry out this genocide. So when we see Blinken talking, we should really not just blink our eyes but also close it forever, because this guy is not credible, he is not legit, and this guy and the Joe Biden administration, they really need to shut their mouths and get lost once and for all, because nobody wants to hear from them. This is enough of a hypocrisy coming from them. Guys, if you have any more comments, I can see some comments here from Nick Wea, some comments here from Ellen Flubber. Alan, thank you guys for your comments. Leave a comment in the comment section. See you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.